midday house update for you guys. I'm pretty sure they might just be outside taking a break, or they might have gone to lunch. Oh no, the truck's still out there, so they're here somewhere. Do you see this? Do you see this? It's just like so exciting, like all around here. All of this is mudded. Look at this. This is so exciting. They even did like around where the chair rail was, because this needs like all touched up. End of the day, house update. Day 1, complete. So they cut out the ceiling here. I think they're gonna do patchwork tomorrow because they didn't even touch, oh wait, I'm zooming in with the wrong thing. They didn't even touch up there in terms of drywall, so they did all of the mudding today. You can see like all of this is done. So this post needs wrapped in drywall. This needs drywalled right here, and then they'll do like the corners and stuff. This wall, all done. They also did touch-ups of the ceiling, so not this, ignore that. My lovely work that I did here removing the popcorn ceilings, they honestly did a much better job than me on making this smooth. All the chair rails, the bottom they like started, they didn't do over here. The ceiling looks so good, so good. Today was day 4 of drywall, day 1 of painting, and we've got some very exciting updates. So I didn't actually vlog this happening, to be honest. It was a heck of a crazy day, and I just like did not even have the opportunity to vlog this happening. So we do have, yeah. We have got my 2 French doors put in. Can you guys just imagine like entertaining in this space, the indoor outdoor living situation? So as you guys know, behind this wall there's 1 door, and this is the main deck space right back here. And the flow of this, like having to come through the kitchen, which yes, you're gonna be like coming in and out of the kitchen, I'm sure, to get things, but this just makes it so much nicer so that not everyone is like hanging out the couch, going the whole way over here, coming in. Like it just makes it a little bit easier and more seamless. So we've got 2 French doors. I did a left door opening over here and then a right door opening over there, so it's perfectly symmetrical. And then this step is also being built. This isn't like a painting update, but like just so you know, there is going to be a step here, so then this isn't as high and it like flows a little bit better, because over here it's just kind of like, why is there a floating door? You need a little step. They got the drywall work done today. They are like so quick with the drywall. So this was like absolutely nothing. It was just like studs this morning, and they filled this all in, got it all mudded. So they will be back probably tomorrow to sand this, get this done. But otherwise, like all the drywall work, you guys, is done. Painting has started, and then if you can see like these drips and things happening here. So this was actually a mistake. I was outside in the garage, I didn't catch it. Thankfully I only caught it when they had done 2, but the beams, can you guys tell that they're stained? I mean, these aren't stained over here. These are stained, which is just like, and then what's gonna happen with these, like where they messed up, is that's supposed to be white. So in between here is going to be all white, and I just wanted that to blend right in. I didn't really want that to be noticeable. I want the beams to stand out, not these right here. And then if you didn't know, I'm pretty sure I've mentioned this like a couple of times, but there's actually lights behind every single one of these. So that's why those are there. But so exciting, the center beam will be stained as well. It's gonna look great. So all of this is primed and has, I believe, a first coat on, and they haven't done like anything up close over here, but yeah. This is going to be wrapped in this, so these beams are cedar. This is gonna be wrapped in cedar, and then I'm gonna stain it the exact same. It's just we didn't have an opportunity to do this yet. So this won't be touched by the painters, and that will end up getting done in the future, but not really a big deal. Back at it again with another painting update. This was day 3 of paint. Look at like, can you guys envision the kitchen now? That it no longer just looks, it still kind of looks like a construction zone, but like the drywall looks like an actual wall at this point. So what they did today, they did a second coat. So yesterday I'm pretty sure they just did primer, and then today I think they only did 1 coat on the ceiling. I'm not sure. The beams have been done, so the beams are looking fabulous. And then they did around the walls again, got more in like the nitty gritty. So like around all of this here, they were doing some caulking of the trim up here. So that was all prepped to paint. I don't know if they actually painted that. I don't think so. I think they were just doing the caulking of it, but they got like closer around the trim and all of that fun stuff. So the doors have not been touched yet. The trim has not been touched yet, but I'm guessing that will probably be tomorrow. My voice is gone. Here's the thing. I just got back last night from being in London and Sweden, and one of the very last nights, like we were in this club and like talking to people like you had to scream, and my voice is totally gone. I'm not sick, my voice is just totally gone. So let me give you an update on the painting, because I was not here when it was finished. And honestly, let's actually first, before we do like a grand reveal, let me set you guys down. Look at this just like great white backdrop. This is insane. So this painter came recommended from the guy that is doing my hardwoods, and honestly, the drywall work was like absolutely amazing. They did a great job. There was one point where I felt like they were just like really trying to rip me off, but like I got that handled. And I don't know, it just kind of like came down to it where like they told me the pricing, and then they were like, oh, this is only for one thing. So then there's also this pricing for something else. And then it was like, oh, well, that didn't include material. So like, here's then the cost of material. And it just kind of like kept adding up, and it just like wasn't great. And then I was in London, and I got a text from my painter that said, do you want me to do the doors and the trim as well? And I was like, yes, that's like included in what I asked you to do. And he was like, no, that's gonna be more money because you didn't say that. And I was like, I know for a darn fact, because that was even with the ceiling. Like when I first explained the project to him, I explained exactly what I wanted done in the ceiling. Like I made sure that I laid it out because I figured it was going to be more work to do it like this. So I explained that. And then when he came and like asked for the paint colors and stuff, I explained, okay, the stain that I want for the beams and then like the white that I want in between. And he was like, oh, I didn't know I was doing that. And I was like, that's it's just like, it's not true. It's not true. So anyway, I was gone, and my man was actually here. He was watching the dogs and just like house sitting and managing the project while I was away. And I don't know, they ended up painting the trim and the doors for no extra cost. And I don't know, they just ended up like messing, I'll show you, they messed like a spot up over here that I'm like, I have to touch this up. And I'm not too pleased with their work. I'm glad that they could come in when they did. I just feel like I kind of got ripped off of this project, and it shouldn't have cost as much as it did cost. But it's okay. I mean, it looks good. It does look good, and hardwoods are going in 2 days. So actually, I'm wrapping up this video right now, and then I have to haul away this huge pile of stuff and just clean up in here because I gotta get it prepped for hardwoods. But this is so crazy white, right? Okay, let me give you a full look, a full tour. Let me actually start just by sharing the problems, just so like I get this out of the way. Can you even see this? It's like so faint, but in person it is very, very noticeable. So they like actually cut the wall here, and I did not realize that this entryway was wallpaper. So when they started painting, you could see the seams of the wallpaper. I had absolutely no idea. If I knew that, I would have taken the wallpaper off myself, but I just like, the previous owners had painted over wallpaper. So you would see the seams, and then the drywall people like didn't know that, so they didn't do like the mudding of this to prep it for the paint. So then they painted, and then they saw the seams, and then they tried to do some of the fixing of it. And can you see like this? Yeah, they just did a really, really poor job, which now like in person, it's so much worse than what's appearing on camera. But like there's like another spot right here as well. So I'm gonna have to go in and sand this and fix it myself, because it's just like, it's really, really poor. Even this door back here, they got paint like all over the windows and stuff, and it's just, it is what it is. But here we go. Let's like turn our attitude around and just be like, oh my gosh, everything is so white. Cathrin, that's amazing. Yes, I know. It's so incredibly exciting. The dining room area in here We got my little shelf going the whole way across. I did talk to you guys on Instagram debating if I wanted to remove the trim down here because I loved the way that the trim looked up here, like with absolutely nothing. Because I'm not sure if I'm gonna go back in and add trim or not, but like I just loved this. I thought this was gorgeous. So I was debating taking this down, and then let me actually come over here. So when you look at it from this angle, this is my shelf right here. I was a little afraid if I removed the trim on the bottom that this was gonna look chunky and too thick. So I was like, you know what, let me just like leave the trim down here, and maybe I'll just leave the trim on like the doors and all the windows on the bottom, and then up top have absolutely nothing, because if I spin around, there's going to be trim around the doors down here, but I wasn't thinking about adding trim up top. So I was like, maybe that makes sense if I just have it on the bottom and not up top. Still not decided, honestly. Like by the time this video is live, I could have completely changed my plan. Like I have got no idea. So that's kind of why I left the trim here, and they ended up painting that. And then just look at that view, like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be gorgeous. Then if we go into my office, I mean, it's just like a little white box right now. I've got my cute little doors painted, so I gotta figure out the handle situation on the doors. The ceilings look so good. Like the drywall people touched up all the ceilings and they look so freaking amazing. I'm so excited. The reason it's like not perfect on the bottom is because there's gonna be hardwood, and then I'm also gonna add like a baseboard trim on the bottom there. So these windows kept their trim as well. And then if we get a full look at the main living area, I mean, I'm obsessed with this vault. I love it, I love it, I love it. I'm so incredibly excited. So one of the last things to do is gonna be wrapping of this and then staining it. I do have leftover stain from these beams, so I'm actually gonna do that project myself, so then I don't need to pay anyone for it. And honestly, like I kind of just like don't wanna have them come back. I also forgot to mention that they did not paint this. Sadly, I wasn't here when they like did the wrap up of the job, and I didn't, or like couldn't tell them that like this needed to be done. So sadly that is not done, but that's not like too big a deal. I can paint that myself. But yeah, that's it, you guys. The house is like, it's so exciting. I feel like I don't sound as excited as like I actually am. My voice is just like so monotone right now, and I am a little tired. So next up, hardwoods. On today's episode of Cathrin exposing herself, that will do. Why are you trying to eat my stuff? Honestly, I think I made a huge mistake. Pure chaos. I love it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Oh no, wait, that's awful. That's so bad. Design ass, get to work.